Morning, everybody. And today, this is a great day because this is going to be maybe the last few things I do of winter to get everything winterized. And we're going to be winterizing your specimen pots that stay out all season long. And then I'm going to be doing the final cleanup in the garden, cutting back the left perennials, the garden phlox, and taking down those morning glory vines and the last rake maybe. But let's get started up here. This is my not my PG hydrangea, we'll get to it. This is my dappled willow. And when you put your plants in specimen pots, you want to know your zone. We're in a zone 6, maybe a 6A now, which means we go to 5 to 10 below zero, and if it's Celsius, it's 23 to minus 23, minus 20. And so you want at least 2 zones below your zone. So we're in a 6, and so you want things to at least be a 4. I do push things in a 5 up here on the deck. It's not a problem. But my dappled willow is a 3 through 9. This arb is a 5 through 8. But these are protected up here by this fence. And then if I know I'm gonna throw a sheet across this. But for now, how I prepare mine for winter, I've gone ahead and just loosened the soil a little bit because we've had freezing temperatures. And where it has, through the summer, because of watering, it has compacted, so I loosened that soil. And I'm gonna add compost, a thin layer of compost, all around the top of my plants. All of my specimen plants in pots will get a nice little dose of compost. And then, the other thing I'm gonna do, I have mulch, which I'm gonna put on top, which also helps insulate the roots. That's all about insulating the roots. Now, none of my pots are special frost-free pots. I take my chances, and I've always had good luck. So, but if you live in an area that gets a lot colder, then you might want to consider that. The other thing that I am a believer in is I put all of my specimen pots on wheels because of this reason. You want to be able to, there we go, scoot these, I do, against this back wall, and lifting those get really, really heavy no matter what the size. So same thing here, we're going to put compost all around this pot, this arb here, pretty green arb, and then we're going to add the compost. But this is as easy as it gets. Watch your forecast though, because if it's going to drop, like I said, if it gets below.
Well, you're adding mulch.
I'm adding, yeah, that's mulch right on top. That helps insulate those roots, holds a little moisture. I only water these. I don't usually have to water any of my outside specimen pots because we're in zone 6A or B. They've changed that now, and I haven't looked it up this morning. We usually get rain and snow, which keeps them moist, but if you're in a dry area, you want to at least once a month throw a little water on your plants that are in pots to keep them a little moist. My PG hydrangea will get soil and mulch, and within my PG hydrangea is a Ramona clematis. And again, I've gone through, loosened the soil, and let's get some compost on it. Again, it is on rollers if the weather gets bad. The hardest thing in this area is wind, and if I can protect the roots of my plants that are in pots from the harsh winds and cold, they have not had any problems. All of these were out in that terrible Arctic blast last year, and they survived. So we're going to top dress it with a little bit of mulch, again, to insulate the pots. So go outside, check your pots, and add a little compost, add a little, if you need it. If you notice that they've lost some depth in their soils and compost, you want to protect them and get them ready for the winter months. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go down to the garden and finish cutting off the last of what I think needs to be cut off for the winterizing of the perennial bed. We'll see you in the garden. Hey guys, we were coming down the stairs and I didn't want to forget how well a dwarf Alberta does in a pot. The one in my front landscape had been in a pot for I don't know how many years, took it out, and it looks gorgeous in the front landscape. I put this one in about 3 years ago, And I do very little to it, but I've noticed that the soil level has dropped in it. So let's get some compost in it, but they do great in specimen pots. Again, this is really protected. I'm very fortunate. I have areas, little microclimates in my garden that I can protect them from severe weather in these pots, severe cold. But dwarf Albertas, I think they're 4 through 8. So they're a good specimen pot plant for this area. Yay. Get some soil and the compost all around it too. And it just looks so pretty. Yay. Ta-da. So there is that for my specimen pots. They're winterized.
So now the clippers are right behind you, by the way.
Thank you. Let's go to the garden. So here we are. The last things I need to cut off the garden for winter are I love my tall garden phlox, and I've started cutting them back. I have 2 other stands, one at the end of the garden and one close to the pergola, and then this one. And I'm going to cut these back about 2 inches from the ground. These will not go on the compost, you know, throughout our season, because we have a lot of high humidity and moisture. We get some powdery mildew. You don't want powdery mildew in your compost pile. These will not go on my compost, but they will go into the muskrat hole. That is still, it's like it's going to, what is that old saying? You know, I don't know, but that hole just doesn't want to fill up. Which is good for us because we have a lot of these kind of mildewy plants that I can put on that. And then, of course, if there's any leaves that are around this area, I will rake that up. And these will go into the muskrat hole. And I've already cut off one at the end of the garden, and I have another one right here, which it's going to be the same thing, you know, 2 inches from the ground, cut back. And this is like, oh my gosh, I just love getting these things done. I'll do that off camera. But the next big job, and I've been down here to help Reg out a little bit, is getting my morning glory vine off the pergola. I've been up on the ladder, cutting it off of my little decorative chandelier, which I love.
Which needs to be fixed, by the way.
Yeah, it needs, you know, we've had this and it goes through a lot of trouble. But I love a morning glory vine. It's such a common little vine, and I've said it many times that I grow it just for the vine, not necessarily for the flowers, because I love how it softens these harsh edges. I've already pulled the one off of the compost pile this morning. I was in there getting compost, but I thought I'd save this because I'm hoping in one pull I can get
one fell swoop.
One fell swoop. Do you think I can get this completely off?
No.
I've been up in there on that ladder, so I'm going to just pull it down. Then I'll cut. This will go in my compost, but I'm going to just start pulling this off of the.
I'll be darned.
I'll be darned. That is like so much fun to get up and get that done like that. It looks so good. Simple little job. Yay. I am so happy. So the rest of my day, you can see I started, raking up some leaves, and I just love it. I love, love, love. This was bothering me, seeing this pergola, the way it was covered up with the morning glory vine. And you know, this is not, I've never had morning glory seedlings come up. This is a variety that you don't have to worry about. Little volunteer plants, which could be a nuisance. This isn't. Anyhow, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my day. I'll cut this up on the compost.
You got a nice day to do it.
It's a gorgeous day. The next 10 days, look pretty nice. I want to get out. You know, it's the end of November now, and my neighbors have all agreed that I can go start cutting stuff, green, evergreen pieces to put in my front window box, and so we'll get started maybe on some holiday cheer in the front of the house and go from there. But that's it. I love it. And everybody get out in your gardens today, do some final cleanup, and enjoy your day. We'll see you the next time. Bye.